Hey, before we get going, real proud daddy moment here. My daughter hit her third home run. Let's go, Addison. This is Sportz Nutz.
The Sportz Nutz are back.
You are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
I mean, guys, welcome. Great show. But how can you not enjoy that introduction video? Thank you for Matt for creating that. It's always very catchy.
Yeah, my bad, Shane. Look, man. Hey, I got it done. It's done. I just got to upload it, man. But it's done. My bad.
Yeah, that just sounds about right with Matt and his procrastination that he does. You know, Matt,
Brandon, you can't even spell procrastination. Spell it.
I bet you spell it first. Ladies first.
IT. Boom.
IT. You're so funny. I forgot to laugh. Oh, man. But, guys, we hope you had a fantastic weekend. You know, we sure as heck had a good weekend here. Really, as you guys heard in the beginning, I gave a special shout out to my daughter, Addison. Her softball team won again tonight. They are 8-1, and they won 13-2. But Addison had her fourth total ever home run and third one of this season. So congratulations to my daughter Addison on that one. Hey, let's real quick give a special shout out to everybody tuning in on 95.5 KFCE, TigerNation.live, 95.9 The Sports Animal in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the other 7 radio stations we air across the lower 48, Alaska, and Hawaii, plus the 45 countries we also air in. Thank you guys so much. And when we say thank you, we really truly mean it. Thank you. And also, as you guys see on my little ticker there, we're on 10K watch. Yes, we are officially at 9,373 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Tonight's episode is going to be a first for the Sportz Nutz. Yes, we have a real professional soccer team from the MLS on. The PA announcer for FC Cincinnati, as well as the PA announcer for your Cincinnati Bearcats is on. His name is Ethan Herzog. And stick around because we have a lot more to talk about. Shane, man. Happy to see you there. Happy Monday. Hopefully it was a good rest of your weekend. I know we had spoken briefly during the wedding, but how did everything go with you, man?
Oh, man, going good. Got to see some good friends that I hadn't seen in a while. Congratulations, Graham and Savannah. Here's to your future. But, man, other than that, it's good getting back to some regular springtime weather up here. It's been pretty cold. I was worried about my garden and the plants for a couple of days, but luckily we're getting back. But man, great to be on here. Great to have our good friend John come on with us, especially for this soccer broadcast. Maybe he can shed some of that insight that he has.
Yeah, exactly.
But definitely happy and excited to have Ethan on the show with us and ready to get into it.
Oh, yeah, we're really excited about it as well. Matt, man, I know it's good to see you as always. Hopefully get to watch some really good quality sports this weekend. But how was your weekend?
Weekend was good, man. I see John's on early today, man. So this must be he must be excited. So hey, man, everything was good, man. Just able to kind of just sit back, taking some sports. NBA playoffs, prefer, made mostly. A lot of the game sevens went down over the last couple of days, so teams have advanced to the second round of the NBA, playoffs. So, looking to see that, man, as these matchups are starting to get a little bit more intense and more competitive. Just eager to see, what's going to happen. We had some teams fall that, shouldn't have really fell. So, and we had teams make it that
shouldn't even made it.
People say shouldn't have made it, but hey, it is what it is. So, we can't wait to talk about those and just catch up in the realm of sports today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, since he is here with us, John, man, how are you doing? Happy Monday to you. How was your weekend?
What's going on, y'all? I'm so happy to be on. It was a good weekend. Overall, rather busy, but got to see some good friends that I haven't ever gotten to meet in person yet. And just overall got to take in a lot of good quality sports like you guys were. So happy to be on and happy to help talk some soccer, actually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As you guys do see, our guy Ben is not here tonight. It's okay. Ben sends you all his best as always. Ben's a good guy. We enjoy having him on. Really, Brandon, we're not going to do this again. But yeah, let's not make him wait any longer. He is the PA announcer for your FC Cincinnati. He is also for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Ethan, man, what's going on, man? Happy Monday. Good to see you.
Happy Mondays and happy don't typically go together, but we can go with it. It's fine.
Yeah, that is a common theme. It's Monday. At least it's done. It's over with. It's the evening. Now, as Shane likes to say, it's all down from, especially with Wednesdays, it's all downhill from here. So at least we get the hardest day out of the way, and that's all that matters. So, but man, we are so honored that you have agreed to come on our show, and it really does mean a lot for us. So let's get right into it. Now, the MLS season, it is in theory still young, but a lot of stuff has already been going on to start, including you didn't lose to either of the New York teams, which I got to say is that's what's up. But what is the feeling around town about this season for FC Cincinnati? And besides the obvious for you guys going and winning the whole thing with MLS Cup at the end, what is the vibe around town been like for this year's team?
I mean, it's still kind of the same. I feel like it's been for the past couple of years. There's been a lot of adjustments that have been made. And I mean, we still have a lot of trust in Pat Noonan and his guys. And I mean, it was a slow start and I mean, momentum shifts, and that's kind of just how sports go. Especially in Major League Soccer. It's an evolving league. And as it's gone on, I mean, we've had plenty of chances and capitalized when we can, and it's kind of where it's been at. So,
hey, nothing wrong with that one. But, like I said, the season's still young. So you never know. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh, yeah. Ethan, thanks again for joining us this evening. FC Cincinnati is a fairly new MLS franchise. 2019, I believe, was their first year in the league. But they had a good little run of success in the US or the USL, setting many fan attendance records that playing there at the home of your Bearcats there for a while. But with all that being said, what's the atmosphere like around town for a match coming there in Cincinnati, especially with the soccer specialty stadium that opened up in 2021 in TQL Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, biased as it sounds, and I will toot our own horn very much, we have one of the best atmospheres in all of Major League Soccer, if not one of the best atmospheres in all of American soccer. I mean, TQL Stadium in itself is a beautiful venue that is, growing, and it has some of the best. There's not a bad seat in that house. You can buy a ticket anywhere in TQL Stadium, and you'll be able to feel every single ounce of what the passion is for Cincinnati, especially on the pitch with the orange and blue. But, I mean, downtown, it gets packed, especially around the Washington Park area, over by Music Hall and all that stuff. If you know Cincinnati, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's unlike anything else. And on a personal level, I was a season ticket holder for 3 years before I became the public address announcer for FC Cincinnati, and being able to go from the seat in the stands going into the seat that helps to grow the energy in that sort of way is an immense honor going into that kind of situation, but B, it's surreal because you go and you look at how this team plays and they are 90% of the energy that they bring. They have a fantastic product and have some of the best brands of soccer I've ever seen. And then you just add me and I'm the other 5%. So
that's funny. I like that.
I'm just the guy that yells goal. That's it.
Oh, nothing wrong with that one. All right, John, go ahead and ask your first question, man.
So we've had recent speculation with Tom Bogert reporting potentially that Evander might be coming to Cincinnati. How true is that speculation? Do you think that actually might happen? Because that's a huge player that could come into MLS, not to mention like Mo Salah also being reported.
Do you mean Neymar? Because
we have Neymar, yes, that's what I meant. Yeah,
we already have Evander. He's already playing out of his mind.
I meant Neymar.
I know nothing of that. Sadly, I know nothing of that. That is beyond. That is over my head. All I can do is selfishly hope that I will be able to say Neymar's name over the stadium microphone. But that's about as far as I go. What and how much I know about the deal, I don't know anything about it. I saw it and I was like, huh, that would be cool. But I think it's just all speculation and I cannot confirm nor deny anything.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Real quick, I do want to mention, so you might have heard this little chime going on. My daughter just walked in and she wants to come show everybody what she got. Addison, bring your ball, baby. This is my daughter, Addison. She can't hear you, but y'all can hear her. Addison, show everybody what you got and tell everybody what you did.
I hit a home run.
Nice.
They said congratulations. So I just had to bring her on. She was really excited that she got the game ball and a home run. But Shane, go ahead, man. Actually, sorry, Matt, go ahead, man. Go.
Oh man, hey man, you know I do exist. Nah, man. Ethan, again, man, like Shane and Brandon alluded to. Thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. But we're gonna switch gears a bit here. Can you take us back and let us know from the time you said, you know what, this is what I want to do till now? Can you kind of just tell the fans out there your story and how you got to where you're at right now?
See, this is I mean this is one of my favorite things to talk about because I love and for the reason that I love to shout the people out that really gave me my shot and kind of led me to where I am today, because it started way back in high school. I am a 2021 grad in high school. And I was approached by my assistant athletic director at the time, Brandon Spaeth, and he asked me if I could broadcast games coming up because of COVID. So, 2020, 2021-ish area. So COVID, blah, 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 whole thing. Nobody could come. So he was like, hey, you want to broadcast these games? And I said, sure. I was doing it as a hobby beforehand. I like loosely was leading an AV club, which was me, and that's it. Because I wanted something to do, and I was a theater kid and, sort of an athlete. I bowled. That was pretty much it. I bowled for 4 years, but I was a theater kid and I loved performing. And I said, you know what, I could do this too, probably, right? I did it. I broadcasted easily over 100 games as a play-by-play announcer my senior year of high school. And about midway through the year, I was looking for colleges, and I had applied to the College Conservatory of Music at the University of Cincinnati. Because of my mother, who found the media production program at the University of Cincinnati and said, you should apply for this. This sounds like exactly up your alley. And I said, okay, cool. And one of my favorite stories of going through that, the audition process and the application process was the day that the University of Cincinnati was sending out their acceptance letters. I was broadcasting Roger Bacon versus Purcell Marion girls basketball. And my mom was there, and she liked to come and sit with me while I was doing my broadcast in high school. And I think it was, I don't know, the break in between the first and second quarter or something, because we do quarters in high school basketball. And, and I look at my phone, and it's an email from the University of Cincinnati, and I got accepted to the College Conservatory of Music at that moment in the middle of a basketball game. I showed my mom. And we both had a moderate freak out that I had to lock back in and go back to broadcasting the game. And that's high school. And then it just kind of exploded from there. I stepped onto the University of Cincinnati's campus in 2021, started working in production with ESPN, with Professor Joe Brackman, and then got my first shot to call Division I women's lacrosse on ESPN in the spring of 2022. After that, we brought in a guy who had worked for ESPN for about 25 years. His name's Trevor Toll. Love that man to death.
He is very well.
He is one of the best guys I've ever met. And he was willing to vouch for me to then be the number 2 broadcaster for women's basketball for University of Cincinnati, and they're jumped to the Big 12. So season 1 of the Big 12, I was on the radio calling women's basketball for the Cincinnati Bearcats, which, if you know Cincinnati Bearcat basketball, just as a whole, it's a brand. And having that name associated with me is awesome. And I mean, it goes on and on. I could talk for hours about where I came from and how many people I want to thank and all that stuff, but and I'm still in a very young part of my career. I'm a play-by-play announcer by trade. Public address announcing has been not a very new thing, but a recent development in my career path. And I'm just incredibly lucky and honored that FC Cincinnati chose me in their search for a new PA announcer, and I'm trying to live up to their expectations. I hope I am. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this point.
I will say you definitely have that radio voice, man, and that's a good thing. That's a good quality to have. You know, I've been in this industry for a very long time, and you know, it ain't nothing wrong with, you know, trying to improve your craft. And when you get those particular like meetings or call-ups or whatever, it's something that tickles inside. You're like, oh man, I'm doing this. This is actually pretty cool. That I guess I'm making an impact, and that's where it matters the most. So, you know, let's go back to the switching up here with the talk by now. And we all know what's been going on with Vancouver, you know, and we recently mentioned it as well. And if people don't know what we're talking about, it is a real fluid situation. A historic franchise that has been a signature face for soccer for 52 years is in serious trouble about relocating. But Ethan, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think this could mean for the MLS if such a historic franchise like the Vancouver Whitecaps do eventually have to relocate to places like possibly Vegas or Phoenix or even Indianapolis?
I think that Major League Soccer may have a problem on their hands with a lot of very, very disgruntled fans. It reminds me a lot of the Save the Crew movement back in 2012, 2015. I can't remember. In the 2010s, somewhere in there, when the Crew were in danger of moving from Columbus to Austin before Austin FC became a actual thing in Major League Soccer. But I've seen comparison after comparison, and I think that it's just a matter of the fans need to keep doing what they're doing, and just keep trying to push and make sure that Vancouver stays in Vancouver, because that's a historic city, especially in Major League Soccer, with the Vancouver Whitecaps. And personally, I think they should stay in Vancouver. I think that there will be a suitor to come and make sure that they stay in Vancouver. But it's just a very similar to the Save the Crew movement. And a lot of Columbus Crew fans have come forward and, you know, showed their support for Vancouver. I mean, as well as pretty much the entirety of the league. Every single MLS team and their fan base specifically has said that they should stay and are really vying for them to stay in Vancouver. So I'm hoping for the best for everybody in that franchise and everything that's going on. And I just hope that the right decision gets made when the time comes.
Yeah, it's a very sticky situation on this whole thing that's going on there. And I mean, you literally look on the Twitterverse and that's all you see is people left and right, you know, disgruntled about the whole situation. Shane, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, Ethan. I know we're talking a lot about soccer here, but you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about a situation kind of dealing with a former Cincinnati Bearcat. As everybody else out there knows, the Brendan Shoresby debacle that's been going on. Just reported this past weekend that Jeffrey Kessler, the former Deflategate, Bountygate attorney, is taking over and handling his lawsuit with the NCAA. I just want to get your thoughts on if that's going to be a possibility, and just your thoughts on the situation as a whole, being a Cincinnati guy.
Man, hard.
That's the kind of collective feeling everybody has.
Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, it's unfortunate, and it kind of blows because he's a great guy. He's a great kid. I've watched him for 2 years after he transferred from Indiana to Cincinnati when I was doing student radio with the Bearcats. I called many a Brendan Sorsby masterclass. I mean, he's a good dude, and does it kind of suck how he left Cincinnati? Kind of, but yeah, he's chasing a bag, and that's okay. Like, I get it. I do the same thing. Unfortunately, like, I'm broke. I need money, so I get it. But I just hope the best for him, man. He's checked into different, I think, a rehab center to try and handle the whole gambling situation, and I want nothing for the best for him and his family and all of his loved ones and all of that stuff during this situation and everything. But I'm not sure how everything's going down. I know that you see the University of Cincinnati has their own, not their own, but they sued him for $1 million and all that stuff. And I know that that's kind of going down. Other than that, I don't really have any my own updates on that. I'm not sure. It's such a loaded thing. It's such a loaded, especially with how gambling is right now in not just the landscape of sports, but the landscape of the entire world. I mean, like, you can make a prop bet on just the most random stuff. And I feel like that's such a weird place to be in, especially as an athlete in 2026, where you can bet that, this famous person's going to buy an apple from the grocery store today at 6 o'clock. Like, it's so bizarre. So I don't know that the whole thing.
it's a real sticky situation. I mean, we've constantly talked about NIL and whatnot, and this kind of adds to a lot of the people who are arguing about, is NIL a good thing for college athletics or is it a bad thing? And I think personally, it could be good, mainly for the fact that it should be used to pay for your entire tuition as well as living expenses. You don't need to be going spending $1 million in a car and $5 million on a yacht or whatever, something like that. There's so many more plausible situations to do with the NIL money. That's my thoughts on that one. And it's a very sticky situation. Matt, go ahead.
Speaking of NIL, Ethan,
here we go.
Tell us, yeah, right. Tell us, how do you think the Cincinnati Bearcats have been doing in this NIL era? Do you think they need to, quote unquote, shell out more money to get more top-notch athletes? Like what's the feeling around town as far as NIL in Cincinnati?
I feel like they've done a good job. And my prime example of that is right now during the college baseball season. We look at the Cincinnati Bearcats and how they're doing. 32 wins. I mean, this team is unstoppable. They're very quickly moving up the standings in the Big 12. And they have found the talent, and B, have found the coach. And the coach, Jordan Bischel, is top tier. One of the best guys, one of the best people I've ever met personally. But I think they've done a very good job of it, and they have a lot of donors who are willing to give money to the NIL funds for the Bearcats. Especially with the coaching change from Wes Miller to Jarrett Calhoun, there's been a lot of not better, but a lot of high talent that's come to Cincinnati after pretty much everybody else left. There was no Wes Miller guy left on the Cincinnati Bearcats men's basketball team. They have all transferred. They're all gone. 3 of them left and followed Wes Miller down to Charlotte. Mustafa Sham is going up to Michigan, I believe. I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's rumored, but I think he's either looking at Michigan or Duke. And the football team as well. I mean, they have great recruiting. The football team has had ups and downs, and I personally am a believer in Scott Satterfield after what he's done last season. I think there's just a couple of pieces that are missing. I think that the Bearcat football team can can eventually and hopefully in the next year or so be back in the conversation for the college football playoff. I mean, last year they were ranked in the top 25 for a couple of weeks and eventually had a second half of the season collapse, which was unfortunate for them. But I think that the University of Cincinnati has handled it very well, and I think they're doing a great job. And it's just an ever-shifting landscape too, that you look at how every college is doing NIL, and some colleges do it better, some colleges do it worse. And I think it just also depends on how the donors do and how much money the university can raise in of itself through donations and things like that as well. So I'm also no financial guy, so I have no idea if anything I'm saying is completely viable, but that's how I think they're doing.
Hey, it is. There is no real definitive way to discuss NIL without getting some form of pushback. So, nothing wrong with that one. John, go ahead, man.
Okay, so I want to shift this back to soccer. So we saw Vander score a hat trick over the weekend, and I finally got my name right. And so I was just wondering, kind of, what do you see? Like, it seems like the attack started slow. Do you think that it was just the number of attackers that had to gel into the system that Pat Noonan has, which is very aggressive? Because you have Danke and the rest. What is it that Cincinnati needs to improve on, and what do they need to keep doing in order to keep succeeding? They're already in 5th and 6th, actually, already.
See, I think that the play, we need that guy. I think personally, they need that guy that can play out of the back. We found that in Stefan Chirilla. That left foot off of that 17-year-old is incredible. And he can start an attack from right atop the 18. It's insane. I mean, we go back to how they played against Red Bull New York on a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, last week. Time flies. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is today, other than Monday. So I think that's it. And it's a mesh too. I mean, and that's how Cincinnati teams roll. Is they have weird stretches where they either start really slow and then really heat up, or they start really hot and then they slow way down. And the thought that I'm having is that if this team can pick it up now or in the next couple of weeks, I think that they're going to be cruising by the time we hit the MLS playoffs and in Leagues Cup at that too, because having a cup to go with our plate would be really nice. After we won the supporter shield in 2023, having some kind of other trophy to go with it would be a very, very nice feeling. But I think they'll be there. They're going to figure it out, and they're going to do a great job at it, because that's Pat Noonan and that's his guys. They're all resilient, and they are all very incredible ball players. And I have no doubt in my mind that we will make it there.
So my last question for you on my side, Ethan. First off, my nephew is watching. His name is Jackson. The reason why I mentioned that is his favorite player is Lionel Messi, and his dream is to play for an MLS franchise. He's really a gifted athlete. But can you explain to everyone who is watching how we can see the MLS expand their coverage nationwide? And do you believe that FC Cincinnati could continue to increase on their level of success and help reinforce the love for MLS soccer?
It's a loaded question. Because obviously MLS has their exclusive deal with Apple TV, and then some games get picked up on Fox and things like that. And in the era of streaming, it's just a whole different ballgame on how things happen like that. But I think that, and not to promote Apple TV, because I do that a lot, but the Apple, it's a great product in of itself. But I think it's also just go to a match. Matches are so fun. MLS has some of the best atmospheres in American soccer. And I could say the same about USL as well. And I don't think that we should be discriminating between Major League Soccer and USL and all other forms of American soccer. If you love soccer, go support American soccer no matter where you are or what league it is, because USL has teams everywhere. And I mean, same with MLS to an extent. There's 30 plus teams in MLS, and there's just about the same, if not more, across all levels of USL. And they're going to add another league coming up, and they're still pushing for promotion relegation in USL. So that as well. And I mean, if you can have the chance to support American soccer tournaments like the US Open Cup, that's also a great thing to do, especially considering what the Open Cup is. It is the oldest American soccer tournament ever. Excuse me. Sorry, my cat is.
No, we see your.
My cat is being a little nuisance over here. But I think it's just a matter of going out and supporting, because sure, you can watch it on TV, and watching on TV is great. I watch sports on TV literally every day. If I'm not doing anything, sports are on the background because that's just who I am. But going out to a match is so awesome. And I mean, going out even to the lowest tiers of that. I mean, MLS Next Pro is the same thing. They're their second league, Major League Soccer specifically, or USL. They have Championship, League One, League Two, the Academy. They have all sorts of stuff. And I think that there's just a matter of finding where your soccer is at, and going to support that team. And then as both leagues grow, both leagues will have the coverage. And yeah, I don't ever want to say that MLS and USL are a competitor, because it's US soccer and you go across the pond, and obviously, they have other different leagues and all that stuff, but it's all soccer. Soccer's the world's game. It brings together so many people. I mean, we have the World Cup coming to the United States here in a couple of months. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And I just think that people should go and support whatever club they can find, as much as they can. And if you're looking for one to support, go support FC Cincinnati. I don't care where you go.
Where I live, we have two teams. We have a USL team, the Greenville Triumph. We also have the Greenville Liberty, which is the women's. And then there is there's a whole just a bunch of other teams. When I used to live in St. Petersburg region, there's the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yep.
That was actually a lot of fun for me, and never going to a soccer game and getting to go to a Rowdy game. That was actually pretty electric. There's a reason why they call them Rowdies, because those fans, they really are some of the most rowdiest people on I've ever seen. All right, time for Shane. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, well, Ethan, thanks again for coming on with us and talking a little bit about FC Cincinnati. A couple other things that we like to bring up, some good topics for you, especially being a Bearcat. But in research, I noticed, as you mentioned before too, you've done many different things in the world of athletics, be it college level, high school level, pro level, even now. Man, what are some of your favorite games to do, be it any kind of sport, and what are some of your most memorable games that you have done?
I mean, as of recent, one of my most memorable is my first match with FC Cincinnati. It was against Atlanta United. It was a 2-0 win. My family was in attendance for the match because they wanted to come out, and they got tickets, and they came out, and I got to see them after the match. And I mean, just the look on their face and being able to go and see them right after the full 90 had hit was just an awesome feeling. Especially, with the story that I've had and what I've done, what I've gone through and all that stuff. It felt great to just be able to do something to that extent and people enjoy it. I've gotten a lot of compliments of my work throughout my short career with FC Cincinnati. But also I mean, soccer is my go-to. It's probably my favorite, if not tied for first in terms of my favorite sport. I also love basketball a whole lot, for the same reason of that was my first real big boy job. I mean, I've been on iHeartRadio stations for a long while with them now. I think this is going to be year 4 coming up this next this fall. But I've had some big games under my belt. Cincinnati beat number 11 Iowa State for their biggest ranked win ever, which was a huge thing. And I mean, being able to walk on the Big 12 courts and meet the staff for every Big 12 school and meet the coaches. It's such an awesome feeling just to be able to tell stories, especially for women's basketball, which is a huge growing network and a huge growing product in of itself. And being able to do that is awesome. And I love it a lot. And I love college sports a whole lot. There's a lot to go into it. College football, basketball, soccer, baseball, doesn't really matter. I love it. I love it to death, especially college baseball right now. If you're not a college baseball fan, pick a team, just watch them. And if you don't really want to pick a team, just watch the College World Series. It is some of the best baseball you're ever going to watch, especially because those are a bunch of kids that they want to win a national championship, and they're going to do whatever they can to do it. And you get some really, really exciting brands of baseball, especially Cincinnati's baseball team. I mean, they played a small ball, they bunt, they have good running on the base paths. They're incredible. I love it a lot. But yeah, it's a whole, I could go on, but that's just a few.
His name is Ethan Herzog. He is the PA announcer for FC Cincinnati, also for your Cincinnati Bearcats. Ethan, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, please, sir.
You can find me at Herzog Sports pretty much everywhere. Yeah, and if you're ever around, come say hey. Come to an FC Cincinnati match. We'd love to have you and keep trying to indoctrinate new fans into what we are and what the brand of soccer that we have. So
hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, my guy John said he's gonna correspond with you to get that date set up to come on his show, man. But we really do appreciate you coming on. It means the world to us. And is there anybody you want to shout out before you hop off?
Yeah. You guys, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. And I've now gone international. That's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in and, keep watching sports. Sports are fun.
Right on, man. We'll talk to you soon, Ethan. And we'll have you on again closer to the end of the season. Hopefully we'll be talking about you guys making it into the field of playoffs, man. We'll talk to you soon. Sound good?
Yes, of course. Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care. Man, that was pretty cool. Like, think about that for a second, guys. That's something we have never gotten to experience, is talking to somebody from an MLS team. And, I really got to say thank you to him. That does mean a lot to us. Real quick, I'm going to bring John back on. I want to say thank you for him coming on. John, man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad you got the experience, but I wanted to ask you one quick question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There is a rumor, and I texted you earlier about this. There is a rumor circulating around that David Beckham is trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat and get Cristiano Ronaldo to play for Inter Miami and finish up his career alongside Lionel Messi. What do you think the odds of that happening could be?
We've had rumors that Ronaldo has wanted to come to MLS in the past. There was a rumor that he wanted to come to Sporting Kansas City. So we all know why that is. He wants Messi and Ronaldo to play together before they retire. But I just don't know if it's going to happen. I can see it because Ronaldo, what else does he have to play for once he wins the Saudi League this year? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, does he really want to come at MLS? There's going to be Mo Salah. There's going to be potentially, there's going to be, Neymar maybe even. And I just don't know if he wants to come to a league that won't provide him the wealth structure that he's used to in the Saudi League.
So it sounds like it might be a little oversaturated for him to come on, but it's going to be a good situation regardless. Hey, John, let everybody know where they can find your next episode of your show, please.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. You can find the Pitch Grid on YouTube, on Spotify, and Apple. We just released an episode interviewing Matt Poland of FC Naples of USL League One. Please go check that out. It is a fantastic episode full of culture bits and how to build a club from the scratch, as he built FC Naples from the ground up himself. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's one of my favorite episodes ever. And yeah, you can find us anywhere on social media. And I appreciate Brandon for giving us the exposure.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I had a lot of good time. Thank you so much for helping us interview Ethan. He did say send him a message because he said he finally responded to you. He's going to correlate a day and time to have him on your show, man. But I really appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. Sound good, man?
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
All right, guys. So now that Now that was actually pretty cool to talk. But let's talk about some more sports because it still goes on. I'm going to show you guys a picture, okay? And this is a really astonishing picture. All right, what this is the last playoff series win days time since Buffalo Sabres have won a playoff series. It's been over 6,935 days to be exact. Now, I'm not going to, reminisce on the fact that had my Lightning won last night against Montreal, would they have beaten Buffalo? I don't think so. Buffalo, there's just something that's special going on in Buffalo. I mean, honestly, it really does feel like this could be their year for the Buffalo Sabres. It's a tremendous situation. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you guys, and you guys, people are watching, listening as well, give us your thoughts. Shane, with the teams like Carolina, with Buffalo, with heck, even the Avalanche and even the Golden State. Let me see. I just said Golden State Knights. The Las Vegas Golden Knights. What do you think is a real possibility we could see Buffalo in the Stanley Cup Final?
Well, they got to go through my Canes. They're not doing too hot right now against Philly. Came out and gave away 2 early goals within the first 5 minutes. So the Philly's getting hot on them. They're a little bit younger team, which I didn't like heading into the matchup. But I could definitely see that Carolina Sabres matchup. Be it Carolina and Buffalo both advance. Being an extremely great series, probably going into 7 games. But man, you look at all the teams that we're talking about. Minnesota and Colorado last night.
That was a game last night.
That was an Alabama LSU score.
That was a shootout of epic proportions, to be honest.
Yeah, 9-6, and it's if they can continue to score Minnesota with the Avalanche like that, eventually defense is going to become a bigger key into that matchup. But I definitely see between those two teams right now, Vegas has looked good, but that Minnesota Colorado series is looking like the true winner of the West in my eyes right now. But I know you're not going to want to hear this, Brandon, but Montreal beating the Lightning last night. They won first time in NHL postseason history.
That was an insane
9
shots on goal. That's crazy.
Tampa Bay outshot them, 29-9?
29-9. It was insane. I will say this also. You got to tip your cap to the goalie for Montreal. The dude was a 6th round pick. And he is the first rookie goalie to shut out a team Tampa is theoretically still a defending, 2-time defending Stanley Cup team. They will always be that way. But the fact that he was able to hold them to game 6 to just 1 goal and game 7 to just 1 goal, and they won 2-1, that's pretty phenomenal. So tip your captain. What do you think, Matt? We say this time and time again, and we know the whole situation with how hard it is for anybody to maintain this consistent level of success. And Shane just kind of alluded to it with Colorado and with Minnesota in a crazy shootout last night. I did not have that in my bingo cards to see a team score 9-6 in an NHL playoff game. But what are your thoughts? Do you think we could see the Cinderella dream continue in Buffalo and maybe even make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals? And let's just say for bleeps and giggles, they do have to face Colorado. Do you think Buffalo ultimately wins the Stanley Cup?
I think Buffalo right now is benefiting from, they're benefiting from when a team drafts a lot of young players and they grow together. So right now we're seeing Buffalo's young core. Their young core finally growing up. What's his name? Tage Thompson. Dude.
Whoa. I need to call the paper. Matt just named an actual NHL player.
Stop it. Brandon, I think I've since the beginning of this NHL season, I think I've more than enough showed my acumen when it comes to this NHL hockey. I think I've shown more than enough. Anyways, with Tage, Tage is an elite scoring presence. And he's a matchup nightmare. We're seeing him, we're seeing Rasmus Dahlin, and we're seeing Owen Power. They all grew up. They're growing up. And these guys just aren't potential guys anymore. They're problems for opponents. And with that, with Buffalo's structure and identity, man, I mean, for years, Buffalo was chaotic. It was talented, but inconsistent. Now they defend with purpose. They don't panic when trailing, and they can win ugly games. And that's not just track meets. So that's the difference between a fun team and a playoff team. And I think Buffalo is now putting it together. And I think they're a very dangerous team. And I think they have the potential. They have the players. And I think they have the potential to beat anybody, man. So it's going to be interesting. I'm gonna roll with them. I'm gonna roll with Buffalo, man.
Is there something in this that I'm missing? Because oh my God, Matt literally just blew my mind. He just named people that. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
No, see, we always like to heckle Matt. That's just the thing. But I kind of agree with you on this too, Matt. I think we are. I think we're seeing something really special, and a friend of ours, Blaze, who I talk to often, he said, he asked, should you start following hockey? And I'm like, yeah, you absolutely should. And he goes, well, who do I follow? And I said, you just got to find a team that you think is whoever you want. And I said, I will tell you this, there are those teams, right away, they're bad. They're just bad. And it's unfortunate. He goes, well, name some teams. And I said, well, the San Jose Sharks, they're unfortunately just been really bad. They haven't been good in a very long time, but they have such a great following. Up until this last 2 years, the Anaheim Ducks for a while were bad. And then now they're in the second round of the playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs as well. They've really reinvented themselves. And then I said, but up until just this year, Buffalo was the laughing stock of the entire NHL. I mean, every year they were lucky to get 50 points. And he was like, what do you mean points? And I said, that's how they calculate. Not only is it wins and losses, it's win, loss, draws, and overtime games. But you also have to get your points. If you go in the overtime, you're guaranteed, each team is guaranteed at least one. But if you win, you get two, the other team still gets one. But he was like, well, who do I follow? And I go, why don't you follow the Darlings right now? They literally are the Darlings. And I said, you would not be in bad company if you were to follow the Buffalo Sabres. And I think it's something special is really taking place there. And stay tuned. Do I think Montreal has a chance against Buffalo? No. I think Buffalo, they're just too hot. They're too special right now and too electric. I think they're going to win it in 5, if not 6. So it's going to be a good matchup. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about.
Hold on. I got some breaking news.
All right. What's the breaking news?
A little under 2 hours ago, the Carolina Hurricanes are hanging up their hockey skates. And that's the beer skates. The novelty
I sent that to you, remember?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
I did too. I was like, I literally just pulled up ESPN. I'm like, what?
I'm like, what is going on?
They ran out with like 8 minutes to go in the second intermission. And it was supposed to go through the playoffs, but they said with the demand, they're not doing any more. So some mugs are already on sale on eBay. About $150 to $200 is about the average price.
And what he's talking about, folks, Carolina created a memorabilia of a beer mug with the logo, and it's an actual hockey. It's an actual skate.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's taken off. I mean, that's all you see on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram, and TikTok. It's literally, did you guys see this beer? And there's this one dad, he poured a beer and he's like, I finally got it. And he goes, what do you think? And he goes, he chugs it, wants another one. I'm like, dude, you literally just downed an entire beer like a matter of seconds. It was crazy. So yeah, but it really, really cool. All right, so Shane and we've been talking about this. Could LIV Golf be dissolving after this season? It is possible, but Shane has a little more insight into this. But we wanted to show you, this is the picture we're talking about. It is a potential that we could see LIV Golf dissolve. But Shane has some insight. Shane, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, the PIF is pulling its funding. They're roughly going to spend. They're still funding the remainder of the 2026 season, but by the end of the season, they will have spent $6 billion of money funding this league over the past 4 years now. So it's they're pulling out. So now where's the funding going to come? LIV Golf, it's been known for the contracts that lured a lot of PGA Tour professionals away from the game with insane contract amounts and stuff like that to play instead of, just playing for winnings like you do on the PGA Tour. There is a group now that's being kind of formed of investment bankers and other people that are creating a board to see what they've can do to stay afloat into the 2027 season. But the biggest question that's going to remain is how will the PGA Tour react?
Yes.
We saw the Brooks Koepka coming back to the PGA Tour and the hoops that he had to go to to get that. But with some of these LIV players like John Rahm and a lot of the headliners that you see on the LIV Tour with Bryson DeChambeau, I mean, what can the PGA Tour do with this news to kind of bring those players back to the PGA Tour is going to be the biggest question here. And what kind of hoops are they going to have to jump through to do so? Is going to be another thing to watch here. But it's definitely gonna kind of rock the world a little bit if they don't secure funding for 2027 and leave a lot of golfers without a home and wondering what the next steps are in their career. So it's going to be a mess, but hopefully we'll have more information in the coming weeks and months, and we can see. I believe that they've already pulled out of a tournament down in Louisiana.
Yep, I was just about to say that too. They
and
did
all that, and I know that they've got, I think, 5 more tournaments overseas, and I think 3 more in the States that other than that Louisiana tournament. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what those tournaments are, especially with all this news coming out of the LIV world.
That's it's a real sticky question, Matt. And the question that everybody wants to know is, what is the PGA going to do if LIV does dissolve? Do the big wigs, what do you want to call them, at the PGA? Do they wave the white flag and let them all come back onto the PGA? What do you think can happen? I mean, this is a very iffy situation. Now you have the Saudis, they're pulling out, the funding is getting pulled out, and people are saying that the Saudis didn't care, that they were going to throw billions upon billions because they had infinite money, it seemed, and obviously they don't, because now they're yanking the cord. But what do you think could possibly happen with the PGA players who defuncted to LIV Golf?
Well, I mean, is it, first of all, LIV is heavily backed by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. So they have that going for them. So I don't know. Is it the fact that these big wigs are pulling out? I mean, has that been made fact yet? Because LIV is, like I said, they're heavily backed by that public investment fund. So it doesn't operate like a normal. It doesn't.
Yeah, the Saudis did say they are pulling. The Saudis have already said they're pulling.
They're pulling it for 2027. They're going to fund it through 2026, but pulling it in 2027.
So they're going to pull. Okay,
they are going to pull completely.
So they're going to pull. Okay, so
are we seeing the end of LIV?
Ooh, I mean, people. Oh man, I know. Ooh.
It's a really weird situation going on.
Because it's just pretty much the more realistic question would be. So instead of dissolving, is like the more realistic. Is it a more realistic outcome? Is it evolution or absorption? Because I think it'll absorb into something else. I mean, I get it. People think LIV is in trouble because the TV ratings and mainstream traction has been inconsistent. The team format hasn't fully caught on with casual fans, and sponsors and corporate partnerships haven't matched the PGA Tour levels. And a lot of the hype it had early on has kind of died down. But I don't think money is the issue. I think direction more so is the issue. But if what happens to if the LIV players, if it does dissolve or whatever. I think the PGA will say 2 words, man. Welcome home or welcome back. Many because I mean the reality of it, players who left like Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, why would you can't say no to them?
Oh yeah, because they're the legends of the game.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, some PGA players, man, just felt those guys just took the money and left the fight. I mean, we get it, but money talks, man. If a deal does get finalized, suspensions could be lifted. Players could return under new terms. They'll just make it like a fine or a loss of status or priority, things like that, man. But I think I don't think.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Do you personally think LIV dissolves after this year?
I don't think so. I don't think
it'll be a different version of LIV.
I think it'll be absorbed into something else. Now, but I was unaware of the Saudis actually coming out and saying they're pulling out.
Yeah.
Now, if that's 100% fact, Saudis say we're pulling out, we're not doing this. If that is 100% fact, then okay, maybe we got something here. But until that happens, I just think it's just maybe just people. The hype has died down, man. And you know what happens to leagues when hype dies down?
That's true.
Things like that happen. But I don't know. I got to see, man. I mean, there was just too much money in this. Like, it was more money than anything else ever created.
The winners alone were banking. Even if you no matter what, you were guaranteed. What was it, Shane? It was like $10 million, wasn't it?
That's why they left.
Yeah,
that's why they left.
Yeah.
And you can't fault them for leaving. But I think what the PGA will do is just be like, okay, well, you guys just got to go through a suspension because they suspended those players that left. They suspended them. But they'll just be like, okay, well, you got to do this.
I think a viable option for them wouldn't be suspend them, but would be to have them earn their tour card back, either be a win on the DP tour.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll tell you this.
Coming back.
With all the money they got over there with LIV, you can find them. I'll just find them.
Yeah.
All that money they got, it's a fine. You want to come back in? $5 million.
You want to play?
$5 million.
$3 million fine. Go ahead. Okay,
exactly. Get some of that money back. Then you cook some of that LIV money. Then I think that's what they should do. That's a smart thing.
Well, and did you guys happen to see the video? Shane, was it Bryson DeChambeau that said that this playing turf in Mexico absolutely was a joke? It was like divots and dry and everything. Was it him or was it Brooks Koepka that said this is an absolute joke? What we're playing on, we're doing all this for all this money. We're playing on this kind of field. Which one? Who was it? I can't remember. Dadgummit.
I don't know, but that's been one of those things that's been mentioned throughout the inception of LIV Golf, is that some of the tournaments and the places that they were able to get these tournaments at weren't professional level courses that you could really say, somebody of this caliber really should be playing on this. I mean, you see like -25, -30 scores when it comes to some of these LIV matchups, because the courses aren't for professional golfers. They're for good golfers, but I'm not going to say professional golfers.
Absolutely. So, hey, stay with us, everybody. What we're going to do, me and Shane, Matt, and Ben, we are going to stay on top of this because it is still an ever-changing situation. So, all right. So, excuse me. I got to talk about this. I'm really excited to share this with you guys, okay? What that says, it says $16.7 billion. What is 16.7 billion? Well, that was the total amount of viewers that watched the entire Winter Olympics. It was the most watched Winter Olympics ever. And it's so much so that now starting to pose the question, is LA 2028 going to do even better? And, we know they're adding football. It is flag football. It's football. They're adding football as an Olympic sport. They're bringing back baseball. What do you think, Matt? Do you think we are going to see numbers that can tie the Winter Olympics? I mean, think about this. The Winter Olympics, in theory, have only been around for 25 years. This is 25 terms. This was the 25th Winter Olympiads. But the Olympics have been going on since the dawn of time, basically, with founding in Greece. What do you think, Matt? Do you think now that the Olympics are finally back on U.S. soil, it's the first time the Summer Olympics have been on the U.S. soil since the 96 Olympics when Atlanta had the bombing. But what do you think? Do you think we're about to see an even larger viewership and attendance as well for LA?
I think so, man, because, things just naturally get more popular. And then with it being here in the States, man, I think it'll be during the. We can see it. We don't have to tune in at 2 a.m.
Yeah, really.
3 a.m. You know,
Or
4
catch
a.m.
up for the night before.
Yeah. We don't have to do that. So I think a lot of them. I think you're gonna be surprised with how many Americans tune in to these Olympics. I think it's gonna be a really good turnout. I'll go by to say I think it beats. So look, let's put it like this: if LA beats last year's, you know, if LA doesn't beat last year, then, you know, steak dinner on me, guys. I'm driving up to Carolina, steak dinner on me. But that's how confident I am. I think that LA is going to this year is going to beat last year's.
What do you think, Shane? Do you think that LA 2028 is going to, you know, put the Winter Olympics in its dust? What do you think?
I think we're going to get a great idea of the numbers for the Winter Olympics from the FIFA tournament this year. Just because it's it's a worldwide watch sports, the FIFA World Cup. So you're going to have that sample size to go from as far as how they cover it and everything else. And then I'm on board with Matt. You're going to have events most all the day long coming. Like I did enjoy it being over in Paris and all, just because, hey, I could, from 9 o'clock
to 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock,
9 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. It was just steady sports on TV.
Yeah.
And those are normally the times when there's not really great television on. AKA the times where all the soap operas and the judge shows and, and all that is. So
those are fill-in slots, by the way.
Definitely can understand why there was such a great turnout to watch this Olympics during those times of day, for sure. But man, LA is going to be a big deal in 2028. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to a 18 billion number.
It's a very real possibility. And stay tuned with us because we will be covering the LA 2028 Olympics. We will happily be covering it because we love the Olympics and sports. So just really excited. Now comes the really cool now we have technically it's a new segment name. It's the sports story segment where we all give you a sports story. Shane, you're the first one. Give us your sports story, man.
Well, my sports story is going to be on the NCAA's new eligibility proposal that they have come out with and shared with the public. They're doing a complete overhaul, or kind of what you would think of eligibility now. Currently, you can play 4 out of the 5 years that you're there at any school. But now the new proposal is going to be an age-based kind of proposal. So at the age of 19, or when you graduate high school, whichever is first, you will have a 5-year clock to compete in NCAA athletics. So there's no more 4 out of the 5 years. You got 5 years. If you go to college when you're 18, you got 5 years to play a sport. Also, this could basically eliminate, mostly all red shirts, all the waiver system and how crazy that could be, and a lot of medical exemptions. So all the, with Chambliss and everybody else that we saw trying to gain that last year of eligibility from the NCAA, this is kind of going to eliminate some of that confusion. You have 5 years, you're 19, you get 5 years in college athletics, go for it. There's still expected to be exemptions and exceptions for the eligibility, be it military service, pregnancy, or religious missions, are just 3 of the ones that they had said. But that also got in my head. Okay, what about remember Brandon Whedon was a
career college player.
Yeah, he got drafted first round.
Got drafted first round, but also didn't go back to college until after his minor league baseball career. So I think he was like 24, 25 when he enrolled back in college after his baseball career. But so that's another hurdle that I guess they'll have to figure out as well. But the last, this rule's not going to affect the people with their last year of eligibility in 2026. So even if you had your 4 years and you're at your 4 years, you're not going to get a fifth year at the end of this year.
Take that, you 9-time college tight ends and Stanford and wherever else you play.
Right.
First off, why are you playing in college for 10 freaking years? Like, come on.
Oh yeah,
Because they could.
How many NFL players, how many NBA players have 10-year careers? Not very many.
Oh yeah, well, and I like it because of the red shirt rules. We're protecting those that play the money making sports, I guess you would say, in basketball and football, where they can actually have some game experience and still get that red shirt and have that extra year in college. But in some of the other sports, be it volleyball, baseball, anything like that, you play one pitch or one serve, and there goes your eligibility for a red shirt. So I like it. It's trying to get everybody on the same playing field and kind of making it black and white. So now the NCAA doesn't have to be in this mess. They can actively be looking out, and the NIL tampering cases and everything else that we're going to have more and more of here in the future.
I dig it. Real quick before I get Matt's, my sports story is really simple. It's about UCLA Bruins. The beach volleyball team won their 2026 national championship. Also, the softball team is looked to poised to make a big run again to OKC. But here's a crazy stat that you guys probably didn't know this. And the reason why I wanted to mention this is awesome. They are one of only a few major institutions. They don't charge tuition for in-state students. UCLA, it earns millions upon millions of dollars each year. But here's what's really neat is if you live in the California region, if you live in the state of California and you go to UCLA, which in case you don't know this, is University of California, Los Angeles. You have to know this by now. I mean, again, you're living under a rock if you don't, but you don't have to pay in-state tuition fees. So you could actually go to a major institution for free. So that's pretty cool. Matt, give us your sports story.
Yes, the Orlando Magic fired their coach, John Mosley, today. And people are probably saying, well, why? Why? You're the 8th seed and you lost to the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Why would you fire him? Well, it's like this, guys. You had a 3-1 lead over the number 1 seed. You had a 3-1 lead. And in the closeout game of, I believe it was game 6, you were up by 24 points at halftime.
And you couldn't hit a basket.
And you ended up losing the game. All you had to do, call timeout. We're running a box and one. Paolo Banchero, get your big 6'10", 250 pounds down in the paint, get this ball, get us a bucket. That's all you had to do. But he didn't do that. He just continued to let his team shoot 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 to where they missed 24 straight shots. And in turn, the Pistons ended up winning that game, and then the Pistons ended up closing out the series. So, guys, look, you got 7 timeouts. Use them. Just use them. So
did you hear what the fans were chanting though as well?
What were they chanting?
Every time Banchero had the ball, they were yelling, overrated. The dude had almost 40 points. How is it overrated?
Well, he likes to shoot too many jumpers instead of getting his stuff down in the paint when he's unstoppable, man.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those type of things, man. You fall in love. Just like Josh Smith over here in Atlanta.
Oh, my God.
Remember every time Josh Smith got the ball, shoot a 3?
No! You hear the fans, no!
All that athletic gifts, and you just want to chuck it up. Okay, so that's kind of like what it was. So, yeah, man, so RIP to John Mosley's career. That's going to be a tough one to get over, man. I recommend going back to the college ranks for a little bit, man, and then working your way back up to the NBA.
Just so you know, you're listening, Atlanta Hawks. Quinn Snyder could do the same.
That's not happening.
And now comes everybody's favorite segment. It is the... Yes, it is the honorable mentions where we give you 2 to 5 sports stories the mainstream media doesn't want to cover, but we do because we're the Sportz Nuts. My first honorable mention goes out to the 76ers. And as Matt just alluded to, also with the Pistons. But I'm really going for the 76ers because our good friend Kai Carlin even said the same thing. He did not have this in his bingo cards to see Boston blow a 3-1 series lead and losing game 7. And they lost 109-100. But tip your caps to what the Philadelphia 76ers did. And they are playing in round 2 tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shane, give us your first honorable mention, please.
Well, my first honorable mention is going to go out to a young high school kid, Rocco Clapp of Oakwood in California. He has a .80 ERA with 27 Ks in 26.1 innings as a sophomore this season.
That's a lights-out arm.
Yeah, well, the reason why I'm highlighting Rocco is he is the son of a Hollywood star, that being Johnny Knoxville.
Whoa.
Wow.
And after I saw that, I looked back. Johnny was a high school baseball standout himself. He earned honorable mention honors for the Knoxville Interscholastic League when he was in school. And that was a team that had former MLB players, Bubba Trammell on it, and Todd Helton.
Wow.
Just to name a couple. So
now that's a name right there, Todd Helton.
Yeah, definitely shout out Rocco. Following somewhat in your father's footsteps.
Let's not follow the other part.
On the baseball side. But,
yeah, let's not follow the other part.
Yeah, definitely something I saw and wanted to highlight for my first honorable mention tonight.
I dig that, and it's funny because I sent you guys that text today about Maurice Jones-Drew's son going to college and following his dad's footsteps as well for the same position, running back. So it's pretty cool. Good one. All right, Matt, give us your first honorable mention, please.
Okay, awesome. ESPN's Anthony Slater, he broke a story today letting us know that 9 days after badly hyperextending his left knee and suffering a bone bruise, Minnesota Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards will be back for Game 1 versus the San Antonio Spurs. Now, I don't know if Wemby's going to be playing, due to the fact that he dang near broke the floor with his face, but thank God we get to watch a Minnesota game with Anthony Edwards back because that offense was, even though they had some people step up. Like Aso Diomo, he stepped up and dropped 40 points at one point in the series. That offense looked putrid at times. So thank God Anthony Edwards is coming back. So at least provide some entertainment in this series.
I like it. My second honorable mention goes out to the folks who set up the Miami Grand Prix, as they call it. How crazy was this, y'all? I don't know if you guys saw this video or not. During the race, you actually have this one angle. And if you look, it's dead center where you see the on-ramp to go onto the freeway. They have it blocked off, and you just see traffic just flying along on the freeway while you look down the road, and you just see Formula One racing cars just driving right past the freeway. It was kind of weird, like it was second nature. Oh, this is normal seeing F1 cars racing downtown Miami. But shout out, though, because it went off without a hitch. It was really cool to see this. And by the way, Shane is actually working really hard to get somebody from either NASCAR or racing in general to come on. So stay tuned on that one because we might be having him soon. So that's my second honorable mention. Shane, give us your next honorable mention, please.
My second honorable mention is going to go out to Nelly Corda. This young woman just won her second straight LPGA tournament in a row at Riviera Maya down in Mexico this past weekend. She won the year's first major the week before the Chevron Championship, but is now the new world number one women's golfer, but competed in 6 events this year. Has still yet to place out of the top 2 in these events. So definitely a Tiger-esque performance being put on by Nelly Corda down in the LPGA right now.
I like it. Matt, give us your next honorable mention, please.
Yeah, my next one. I gotta give it to Anthony Richardson for being a big boy and reporting to Colts workouts. For those who weren't here last week, you heard me mention that the Colts did not pick up his 5th-year option. So with that being said, Anthony Richardson had requested a trade back in February, and the team gave him permission to speak to other teams about a potential deal. Well, after seeing that there were 0 suitors, he decided to return back, to workouts and decided to be a big boy and just work through it, man. Just grind your way through it. So shout out to Anthony Richardson for finally growing up and getting on with this.
I like it. That's a good one. My next honorable mention has to go out. It's not really an honorable mention per se. It's more of an honorable mention. What's going on with the Golden State Valkyries for what they did? They traded away the number 8 pick to get the rights for the number 16 pick. Only they waived her, and they did all that work for a very late 2nd round pick, the 28th pick to be precise. And this is all. And if you guys go and look at Twitterverse, because there's been a lot of crazy moves going on today, but if you go look at Twitterverse, people are already calling for the Golden State Valkyries GM head. Another crazy move that happened with Chicago, Haley Van Lith got waived. And she was favored to be the starting point guard, but she got waived. However, there is rumors and mentionings that she's had a conversation with the Atlanta Dream. So we might see Haley Van Lith and Andrew Reese back together again in Atlanta. So Shane, give us your next honorable mention, please.
Well, my 3rd honorable mention is going to go out to the Kentucky Derby. Great event that they host every year. The pageantry, the hats, the flowers, everything that goes along with it. But they averaged 19.6 million viewers during the race there Saturday. The largest number since Nielsen has recorded such things as far as the average goes. I think they topped out, 24 million, over 24 million at one point watching. But also want to shout out Cherie DeVoe. She is the first female trainer to have a horse. Her horse Golden Tempo won the Derby this past weekend. So definitely shout out to her for that, and the Derby as a whole. It's a great spectacle. If that's not something you normally watch, the Derby is one that you should watch, no matter if you like it or not. It's just great to see. So shout out to the Derby for their performance this weekend.
Especially with those hats. There was a story they were talking about. Some of those hats can cost like $1,500 to $2,000 for a hat. I'm like, dadgum. I could not justify spending that much money on a freaking hat. Regardless of the historical relevance to it, there's still even if I were a millionaire, I wouldn't be going and dropping $10,000-$15,000 on a hat. I just can't do it. That's just not me. Matt, give us your next honorable mention, please.
This will be my last one, man. I have to give a shout out to Joel Embiid, man, for all his injuries that he's been having the last couple of years, man. He came out in Game 7 and led the 76ers over the tough Boston Celtics squad. Embiid came out and dropped 34 points, man, on basically no knees. So, I got to give a shout out to him, man, for coming in and actually making a difference and not just being there to take up space. But shout out to Joel Embiid, man, for overcoming those injuries and knowing the severity of this game as a Game 7. And knowing that it was time to lock in and be there for his team. And as of right now, the Sixers are just trailing the Knicks a little bit. They're playing right now, so they're trailing the Knicks a little bit for that second round. Man, they started that second round quick.
They did, didn't they?
When you have a bunch of Game 7s, they do.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Hey, my final honorable mention is really quick. It's just a quick mention in general. Detroit Tigers ace, 2-time defending AL Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal is out for the next 2 to 3 months, possibly the entire season. He has to have arthroscopic surgery for loose bodies in his elbow, but there is no timetable. But it is believed to be 2 to 3 months. Also, just depends on his healing. So, ouch. Detroit Tigers taking another one. All right, Shane, give us your final honorable mention, please.
My final honorable mention is going to be on the baseball side, but it's going to go out to the Savannah Bananas. Banana Ball strikes again. They're taking the show on the road again. This past weekend, they were at Kyle Field down there at Texas A&M University. Little bit funny of a field, 185-foot fence to left field, shortest ever in Banana Ball history. But despite the weird field and everything, still had over 102,000 people there in attendance watching the game.
Wow.
So here in about 3 weeks, they go to Neyland. They're expecting over 100,000 there as well. It's just a product that they put out on the field. It's fun to watch, and people really do enjoy it. And as you can tell, they travel anywhere that they can get a crowd, and it's not hard for them to get a crowd.
Tip your caps to Jesse and what he has did. This was his vision. He didn't expect it to be this grow this fast as much as it's done, and it's really just tip your caps to what he has been able to do with this. It's really exciting. So y'all, this was actually a really good episode. Want to let everybody know. I know we've been doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we are actually switching back. Starting next week, we'll be going on Tuesdays and Fridays. We have a lot of events that we have to attend to. It is the end of the school year for my kids, and I don't want to miss my daughter's playoff softball. So yeah, we're going back to Tuesdays and Fridays. So we'll still be on at 7:30. We'll still be airing regularly on all the radio stations, but just want to let you guys know we are going back to Tuesdays and Fridays. But this was a really good episode, and it can't go unsaid that we have such a great time talking sports with y'all and each other. It's actually kind of refreshing, especially when people, they have a real rough day or rough weekends in general, and it's just nice to get to catch up with friends. So it really does mean a lot to us. So here's a list of the upcoming episodes. I know we had mentioned everything. I have to talk to him. It most likely will be Monday, episode 220. Wednesday will be episode 226. This Wednesday, May the 6th. We have Bob Lesko. He's the assistant head softball coach for Chatham University. He's going to join us. Really excited to talk with him. And then on Friday, the 8th, episode 227, Brian Atkins, the PA announcer for Furman University, will be joining us. I will not be in there because it's the final regular season game of my daughter's softball season. If we win, we get the number 1 seed in the playoffs. So I will not be there. So you'll see Matt, Shane, and Ben for sure. And then Monday was going to be on Monday, but we have changed it. I'm waiting for them to respond back, but we are going to be having a podcast team called The Team. The Kings from Queens podcast is going to join us and talk hockey, basketball, and football. And then, as you guys know, we normally have Marcus come on Wednesdays. That is actually going to change. I'm waiting for him to get back to let me know which days work best. So really excited for all the stuff that's transpiring. We can't wait for you guys to experience it with us. Just a lot of big things are going on for the Sportz Nuts, and our website is getting revamped. Our editor is also going to be helping me get this going, and we should have it up and running towards the end of May. We are close to getting some professional photographers to join us on our website so they can sell their pictures. And we are close to securing another paying sponsor. If you are interested in being a sponsor of the Sportz Nuts, send me a message. Brandon Keeler on radio@gmail.com. And I will give you the pricing packages. So really excited about that one. So with that being said, also want to let everybody know the poll will be out tomorrow for the 4 best choices. I'm still waiting for Matt to give me the correct ones to choose from the list of the next potential permanent segment of the show. So when it comes out, make sure you guys vote and vote often and share the link, everything. And we're really excited to see what the voices come out on that stuff. With that being said, for everybody who was tuned into the show today, who listened on all the radio stations and will be tuning in the days to come, especially for our international audience, thank you so much for that. Matt, it is that time. Give everybody your final goodbyes, please.
Yeah, guys. Make sure you get ready for the week. We got a long week ahead of us. NBA playoffs, hockey's going on, baseball's going on, a lot of things going on, guys. So just sit back, enjoy the sports, man. One thing you don't want to do, though, man, you just want to follow the rules. You don't want to get flagged in the game of life, man. That's the last thing you want to do. You don't want the whoops to come up behind you and and ruin your week. So yeah, guys, just make sure you don't get flagged in the game of life.
Absolutely. And Ben always tells you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. And all the love, it really does mean a lot to us. Shane, give us your final goodbye, sir.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope everybody's Monday was okay. It's only one day of the week, so we got plenty to make the rest of the week to make the best out of it. So just go out there, continue following, supporting, liking. We do appreciate it. As always, may the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease indeed. And also, by the way, May the 4th be with you. Today is May the 4th, and we as you guys see behind Shane is we're all holding lightsabers. Yeah, so we just wanted to say quickly, happy May the 4th with you guys. And as I always tell you guys, peace up, A-Town down. Why it's the greatest sports day there ever was. Hey, you guys have a fantastic week. We will be back with you on Wednesday. This is the final Wednesday of our show. We will be going back to Tuesdays and Fridays. Until then, you guys have a fantastic evening. Enjoy your weather. I know the weather is getting better, but the storms are coming, so be ready. Until then, we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Good night.